Good day and welcome to NasCanucks, your NASCAR podcast live right here on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. I'm Ben, he's Doug, and we are recapping Texas Motor Speedway's All-Star Weekend, I guess. Sure, except only one of the three series running was actually an All-Star race, and it is an All-Star race when you can't even have a full field. Yeah.
Well, if they combine the two...
Well, that was Moody's idea, combine all three series.
More people would win a race, would be fine.
Well, you know, it was funny.
It would have 38 winners of the 35 races, or 36, whatever the hell it is, would be fine.
Well, it was funny because I saw all over social media last week, do we need the All-Star race, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, who's championing all this crap? And I realized it's Moody. Okay. And he had said, you know,
I was listening. He just put it out asking people.
Yeah.
And then he would have the idiots call in and say, hey, let's have it at the end of the year with the top 5 in each division.
Right.
Run what they brung. And it's like, what?
That only works if you have seats available and manufacturers sign off and sponsors sign off, and too many people need to sign off.
Because they said, you know, the NFL has their All-Star game at the end the week after, and Moody's like, no one's going to, where are you going to go the week after in November?
Yeah, and nobody cares about the Pro Bowl.
Then someone said, well, why don't we have it the next day after, like the Monday night, have it?
Right. No. Yeah, no. So we did have all three top series running. Stuart Friesen did have flight issues, but he just said, screw it, I'm going home. I'll fly in tomorrow morning. And he still made it on time, which was nice.
He did. Thank God he did.
Yes. Yep. And so start off, with the trucks qualifying and running Friday night.
Yeah, I just seen the running, so you can talk about the qualifying. Take it away.
It's qualifying. Whatever, it's qualifying. So it wasn't really much of note. A couple. I think we actually had a spin or two during qualifying, which was nice to see trucks actually pushing it to the limit. Other than that, I don't know. They dropped the flag. There's a bunch of short young guys with blonde hair running about a third of the field, and then you had about a third of the field with short, dark-haired guys running. Only one female in the field.
Wait, I see Charles in the show. Listen, that's a white noise while you're talking. For Charles.
Yeah.
Hey, Charles.
You know, I noticed Jennifer Jo Cobb hasn't been running much lately.
No.
I wonder what's up there.
Mike Harmon steal the trailer again?
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen Harmon running either. Maybe they ran off together.
Isn't he is? Oh, who? I forget. A spotter. Those guys that stand on the top spot. That's it. He's because he also owns a team as well.
Well, yeah, he's been running his own. Well, no one's hired him in a decade. Of course, he's been running his own equipment.
Well, he was almost suspended at the start of the year there for running that charity thing at Darlington and shaking down his car.
Matters. What is he going to be competitive and finish 32nd?
Well, hey, you never know.
Yeah.
And then just to kind of skip back to Keith's thing where he said they should rotate it on local tracks, give the small towns some dollars. Those small towns would have to put up big dollars to make it safer barriers and everything else.
Yeah.
Bring those people in.
You got to have safer barriers and a way to get in and out of the track. Yeah. That's the biggest problem. Most tracks are out on a 2-lane road.
Not be like Michigan, and we're going to have all the traffic is going to come in before the race, and then after the race, all the traffic is going to leave.
Yeah. So, although I like the idea, definitely. You know what? I'm really thinking Tempers Flare and no points. Let's have them run Bristol for the All-Star race.
They did that.
When?
2020? 2020. Yeah.
I don't even remember the All-Star.
Yeah,
I wasn't watching racing at that time.
Remember, they had those cool lights. All the Toyotas were like red, and the Fords were blue. And
exactly. We don't need another Kentucky.
Yeah.
Although somebody I saw on Twitter just earlier waiting for Doug to come on and said they should move it to Kentucky. It's better than Texas. No, it isn't.
It's a 1.5 mile track.
Yeah. tri-oval, not even a quad oval.
What's Texas?
Yeah,
mile and a half track.
Yeah, but they're different. They're quad ovals.
Yeah.
Not tri-ovals. Tri-ovals are worse.
Okay.
There's only 1 mile and a half tri-oval I like, and that's apparently Kansas. I like Kansas.
Well, now that the guy knows how to barbecue in turn 1, yeah, it was good.
Well, they moved him over to turn 3.
That's right. Yeah. Yes.
Downwind.
Yes. Yep.
Downwind.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, trucks were running.
Let's go on another tangent. Keith says push the numbers back. Let's go way back, like the Dodges in the Pinty series.
No,
and put them on the rear quarter panel.
Yeah, or make it Nashville just to piss that lady off. I like that idea.
Yeah.
And hey, we got the Tootsie sponsor, so what the hell?
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Got drunk in Tootsie's once. That was the bar Willie used to like to hang out at back in the day. All the way back. Well, Hank Williams used to like to hang out in Tootsie's. Tootsie's been around a long time. Institution, if you will. Anywho, so into the truck race, I'm trying to think who won the early stages.
I'm trying to think too. I only care about the last one.
Yeah. Well, and normally I don't care, but it was like I think somebody won some for the first time, so I was going to mention it. Although it might have been Zane Smith that won them.
I think it was. It's on his first time.
So he's won stages before. However, getting down to the last stage, and I was really hoping for not a caution, a theme throughout the weekend.
Yes.
Then there was a late race caution, and I'm thinking our boy Stuart Friesen there, the Canadian, he was out front, and he had a good truck.
He was up front like almost all of the race.
Yeah. And so, he led the most laps in the race. Too bad that doesn't pay anything anymore.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Wasn't it Kyle Busch? No. Because I think Friesen finished second in the stages. I remember that.
Yes. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, good point today. Because then, he typically gets shuffled back. And I'm like, yeah, what are you going to do? But then they have the late restart. And he had Ryan Preece behind. That's who he was running with. Ryan Preece all night. And Ryan, he went, I got a good shoe behind me. He can give me all the pushing. And Ryan Preece said, let the Canuck know I'm going to be giving him all the pushing. And I was surprised it wasn't black streaks because the back of the truck was raised slightly. He was trying to drive through him as much as just push him.
He had Ice-T blaring in that car behind him.
Yeah. So and Stuart Friesen with the win, which was awesome.
The Canuck.
Yeah, the Canuck.
And now we bring in our guest. No.
Live from. I noticed he ran Can-Am Speedway last week. They were showing the itinerary. I'm like, there's Can-Am Speedway, Lafargeville. I'm like, I know that track.
Yep. Maybe I'll try and get a couple seconds with him next week.
That'd be nice. In between flights, maybe.
Well, I'll hang out at Bojangles there, eh?
Well, that's a good place to find drivers.
I say, hey, I'm at Bojangles, eh? Like, come and talk to me.
Well, not Chris. Stuart's like, we don't have that in upstate New York.
No.
So.
Do
you think Priest is taking over the 10 next year? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, I never thought of it till just now, Keith, but yes, actually, because Eric's leaving and Priest is signed to them. So, yeah.
more news on Ryan Priest later.
Yeah. And I've been a fan of Ryan Priest's for years when he's getting over from the modifieds. And he was running a bunch of junk, before he got the chance. And then also someone like Gibbs gave him the chance and he did okay. But I think some of those guys, they need crappier equipment to do well in some way. So, Stuart Friesen, I think he recommended everyone drink a pint on his behalf. Makes sense. Stuart does like the cold snacks.
Yes.
And so that takes us into Saturday. Oh, we also had Xfinity qualifying on Friday too, I think, for some reason.
Did we? Yeah. Yeah, because they had that because they had all the other time for all the All-Star stuff.
Yeah. So it was what it was for the most part. Dinger didn't get to run practice.
No.
He did qualify. NASCAR being kind of hicky also, they're like, we don't like the ride height on the car. They're like, it just went through tech 10 minutes ago.
No.
No. And you tell they're just being douche canoes about it. I could tell. They'll be like, oh, this is one of those. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what's going on. And AJ just walked away. I
Yeah.
get it. He was like, I know what's going on here. So he didn't care. There wasn't a dash for cash. He doesn't care. Show me the money. That's what he cares about.
Yeah.
And then, so we got into the All-Star race, into the Xfinity race. Oh, and during Xfinity qualifying, we'll mention the award for best interview. Ryan Truex, who had the unsponsored 18 car. So he said, the flat black Chevy or the flat black Toyota is doing pretty well today. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, I was like, that's cool. Although, Xfinity, we know you sponsor the series. You got your logo on the windshield.
Yep.
We don't need to hear every driver compare the speed of their car to the speed of your internet.
Hey, if the phone works. Yeah.
It's getting annoying. So
and he didn't. You know what? And with Truex, I would expect that from him because of all the stuff that he's done for trying to promote himself.
Yep. And it's his last race in that car.
Yeah, but he's also, like you go back to when he was in the Truck Series. He had the 16 T-shirts that he hand drew a truck and put the number 16 on it, and go Ryan. That was his shirt.
Yeah.
Then he also did it for an Xfinity series, I think, as well too. Hand drew a car.
So we had a couple of ringers out there. Tyler Reddick was running the 88 car, so JR Motorsports, which, my God, they were pretty dominant throughout the day.
No.
With the exception of Gregson.
No.
Taking himself out. What?
No, he wasn't.
Not Tyler Reddick.
Reddick was in the 88.
No, it wasn't Tyler Reddick. It's the driver of the 24. What's his name there? Byron.
That's it. Reddick was in another car.
Reddick was in the 48.
Yep.
Where's Bowman? Watching from the motorhome. Right. Okay. So, yeah, that's what I meant. So we had 5 cars, and they were all like, I think they all led at one point or another, or was in the hunt, top 5, top 7. Gregson was up there until he got caught up in a wreck and then wrecked it again, trying to drive the car, which I get because I forget who is. Oh, yeah, that's right, because we had 2 guys in the booth who wear glasses who weren't wearing glasses in the booth. Okay, I noticed that. And one of them was wearing a toupee, I noticed.
Ooh.
Harvick, you're bolder than that. We've seen you.
Seen you. Maybe.
Yeah, but I noticed it's a toupee, though, Doug, that's thin hair, so you still look like you're half bald, but it looks like you're only half bald instead of bald.
Mm-hmm.
So, subtle. But I noticed, Kev. Because he usually does that Ray Evernham fold around extra side part, and he wasn't as much. And I'm like, something's up there.
Well, he usually shaves his head, too.
Yeah. Harvick and Logano in the booth, I don't think they get along, but it worked.
I don't think they would have got along.
Work together. Is that no? Those are record inserts, Keith. Can't really tell there. Anyways, inserts for your 45s. That's where you keep them, so you don't lose them. Variety of drivers, like I say, a lot of the JR Motorsports guys were running up front. And then, you know what? Kind of good to see both winner driver and winner car, because that car has been around a long time and finished 30th. And what I'm talking about is Jay Buford drove that car. It was funny, they talk about the story, how he got a co-owner involved with the team that had some money and stuff. And they said, well, let's put some cup drivers in. And they said, well, they decided to go. What they didn't mention was they fired the guy who owned the car from driving the car. That was a big step.
Yeah.
And so Tyler Reddick, who missed her second place in the Cup Series, did really well in that car. Yeah. And it was funny. And he joked about that, in the victory lane speed, front stretch speed. Yeah, they brought me in to shake down the car to see what it would take to win. I don't know. It won. He's like, I have no clue.
What got me with that interview was that Reddick, you're driving for the Big Machine Records team, isn't there?
Big Machine, that's what it was.
Okay,
right.
You're driving for Big Machine. Don't just talk about RCR in your interview.
Yeah, you might want to mention the owner that put you in victory lane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't we've been talking about this RCR power. We're trying to get this here. We're trying to, and the RCRs are putting out good cars. No, it's not an RCR car. No.
Oh, then again, it might be that they're literally handed turnkeys and just put the wraps on.
That probably is exactly what it is, but just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it was, so it was a good win for him. I think that's going to help him on both, in the Cup side as well.
Yep. It didn't Sunday night. Yeah, okay.
It didn't, though. No. Well, although they had to mention how many times RCR cars finished 1-2 a couple of years ago here. Yep. It was a couple of years ago. Different car. Anywho's. So, yeah, that brings it to Sunday for the All-Star race. We had the qualifying Saturday. Oh, what a joke. I like the open qualifying.
Maybe a little bit of difference of opinion.
A lot of a difference of opinion. I like the open qualifying. That was qualifying. Yeah, I thought the Cup qualifying for the actual All-Star, like the people that were in the race, that qualifying was a joke.
It was fun. Have some fun. It's fun.
It was gimmicky.
It reminded me of back when they were at, like I said, I forget the name of that.
The picture competition at the Charlotte Arena.
Yeah, whatever.
But that was different. That had nothing to do with qualifying for the All-Star race.
But it made them relevant.
Well, we could bring back the pit crew challenge, and we just hold it on the front stretch.
Well, this made it a little more better.
I was not a fan. Yeah, so basically what it was they have like a Christmas tree. Well, they got the Dallas cheerleader going 10 seconds, but you don't know when that 10 seconds is.
No, yeah.
And she's like, walks off motocross style, and then they got the Christmas tree, which is not really a Christmas tree because all the lights come on with the air horn. And even some of the drivers can't hear that apparently because the very first one driver went and the other one went, "Oh, we go now?" Oh, okay. Yep.
Guess what? That's why you're not in the 10 next year. But anyway.
So I just
we learned that Larson can't shift off a dead start.
Well, the problem was you're not supposed to shift. What he was trying to do was do a rolling. So he didn't want to light up the tires at all. So he just eased into the gas. But the problem with easing into the gas of a race motor is it goes because you got to give it 5. You got to feed the onions to it. It's like a sprint car. They like it wide open. I swear the highlight was watching them do the burnouts right at the end of practice when they decided to let everybody start doing burnouts. And some guys were just going through the gears and and locking up the front wheels and the brake bias. I was just like, okay, all right. But so yeah, they did the qualifying.
Kyle Busch's team member even had a guy fall down and still win.
Well, then that was the other thing. When they're getting started, that poor bastard on Amarola's team standing there with the 2 tires for like 20 minutes. And you can see him, he's like, oh, you see the hands start shaking a bit. And then he puts them down. They're like, okay, it's time to go. And I'm like, well, that's not fair. He's got dead arms.
Well,
the other guy's like, I'm just going to lead him on the track until the last second, and then I'm going to grab him up. These modified pit stops. Yeah. Although you did, if they ever bring him back, obviously stop short in your pit. That's the key to that.
Well, that's what Kyle Busch did.
Yeah. Yeah. It just makes sense because you're stopping sooner. The crew can start servicing sooner. It just makes sense.
And you can leave sooner.
And there's no speed limit, so you can just give her.
Go sooner. Yeah.
I forget. There's 2 cars that came out really close. I think one was involving Chastain. I'm like, just nudge them. Just do it.
Oh, yeah.
Mazel. Wreck for the win. Why not wreck for qualifying?
Yep.
I'd like to see a bump and run during qualifying, Doug. That would have then made it entertaining for me.
Yeah.
Even though I hate bump and runs.
If you're in the outside lane, just drive the guy down towards the wall.
Yeah, although I did like Blaney's like, screw it, I'm holding the apron wide open. And that...
Yeah, he's trying to catch up to Busch, at the end.
Yeah, and then he just 4-wheel drift up and, whoa, that didn't work. So there was that. Yeah. And then, so then we get into the open where apparently you just have to win a stage to get transferred.
Oh, you said, yeah. And you know what? I think we could have probably said who we thought was going to get in there anyway.
Well, generally there's like your 3 cars that, oh, they haven't won yet type thing.
Well, because
race winning capable.
Stenhouse always wins the first stage, and he's on because he was on the pole, so he just took off. There was go.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what the hell that was. The third stage that was like 2 laps. What the hell was that?
Yeah, like. Oh, and by the way, NASCAR, take a page out of your book. If you're going to do stage racing, don't count the laps between stages. That way you don't have a 20-lap stage 2 every week.
So it was,
the worst is the trucks. By the time they get them sorted, they're like, okay, it's going to be a green flag run for stage 2 of 8 laps.
Yeah. So what? So it was Stenhouse won the first one. Then it was Custer?
I think so. I somehow missed that one. Like maybe Suarez?
Suarez won the last one.
Won the last one, okay. And I knew Suarez was going to win one, Stenhouse, and then I think I thought maybe Dillon was going to win or something.
Yeah, but he didn't.
No, like I figured the 3 because the 3 usually gets in or something like that, or
that's right. They just did the 3 stages. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
the fan vote.
And then the fan
being
vote.
Eric Jones, which was nice. And that, let's be honest, that's a vote as much for Richard Petty as it is for Eric Jones.
Oh, for sure. And I you know what? Shout out to the idiots that are calling into NASCAR radio saying, "How come Chase Elliott's not in the top 10?" Oh, because he's already in the race. You stupid fool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not wrong, but he was in the race.
If you try to act like Dale Earnhardt, apparently if you're a Dillon, you don't get the votes.
No.
Would have been funny if Ty got voted in. See you, bro. I'll see you back later at the trailer. So, yeah. So, they transferred everybody and their brother in. It was kind of nice how they did have the running stats of all-star appearances and this and that. And then, so then we got down to the all-star race, which it really confused me because I thought they were going to take the times from the pit stops during that last stage, during the competition caution, not even though we're doing pit stops after every round anyways, but we're just going to count this round.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was,
maybe you could have done throughout the night, like fastest pit stop of the fastest 4-tire stop. Green flag, caution, doesn't matter, but they didn't. Sure. Pretty much everyone said the highlight of the night in the All-Star race was stage 2. I guess, with Kyle Busch.
Oh, yeah. Well, Kyle
right rear.
Yeah, gets a flat right rear, and Chastain said, "I went left when I probably should have went right."
The quote of the night,
let's make the choice to go inside towards the wall where the car is already going down instead of going to that.
Yeah, but in all fairness, Doug, you're on the road there. It's flat. You're committed. Like I'm surprised we still don't see more cars running into each other. Like it used to be. But that was one of the interviews of the weekend too. So what happened out there, Ross? I chose the wrong lane.
Hey, you admit it. That's all.
Yeah. And then the other interview was, I tried to shoot the moon. I know he was going to end up there eventually. I really should have stood in the throttle more. And that was Chase Elliott, because you're right. Because if you had moved that much further forward, you would have been clear.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, that was, I don't know, it's like, I don't know what you compare. It's like when they throw a baseball, the guy's running to get it and ends up corking him in the head, or the spectator just randomly gets beamed because Kyle's going straight, Chase goes wide, and he's arcing around, and all of a sudden, bam! You get T-boned like 4 seconds later, and you think, "Well, that looked bad." Oh, I guess it was still involved. Okay.
Yeah.
And at least Chase was honest about it.
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
Idiot. Anyway.
Yeah. And so at this point, my technical rant for the week, are we going to reinstitute full width bumpers on these cars and not just put in bars from frame rail to frame rail, which is clearly the case? Because I also noticed it because with the composite bodies, the way they cave in, it's almost like open wheel where you can launch off each other. During the Xfinity race with Allmendinger, when Buddy got into it, you could see the right front. I think it was Reddick, actually. Reddick's car was hogging up in the air because his front spoiler was grabbing the sidewall and trying to lift the car up. I'm like, that wouldn't happen if we have full bumpers.
I feel like you're pointing at me or something.
I'm just, yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting excited talking with my hands.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, stop with the, the Indy cars have pods and bumpers and everything stick out, so they can't do that. They can't lock wheels anymore, but we're damn near at the point where we're locking wheels. You know what's good? Pinty's. We've seen Pinty's cars launch with those fiberglass bodies. You can't rear end. You may bump and run and launch right over with Pinty's cars.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, put a full width bumper on the cars. And guess what, Doug? We can bump draft then because we got full fucking flat bumpers that meet up, and it's not round against round.
Only if they're the same manufacturer, because they got the same.
Come on. They already have the same silhouette from the side. You just make all rear fascias flat.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it, NASCAR. Do it.
Okay.
You can hide lead ballast in the bumpers if you want. Not the bottom.
So there was a bunch of stages that people won and people lost and did other stuff with, and then...
Yes, because they just use 2 bars, Keith, the bumper lockups. Because they just use bars. They don't use an actual bumper. It used to be a 2x3 or 2x4 box.
No, that was something. That was a truck race. That was something different.
Yeah. But
where the people in the booth...
I still blame composite bodies.
I don't know how those 2 bumpers locked up. Well, here's a little thing. It's like tongue and groove. That's what happened.
Yeah. But not to mention,
groove.
We used to, and you've seen it, Doug, especially short track cars, you would actually have bars that would come out through the rear fenders and weld to the ends of the bumpers, so you couldn't lock bumper to bumper, because I've seen that. God, that was one of the worst things to do when building a stock car, was because we used 70s and 80s cars with the chrome bumpers, and we had to turn in the corners of the bumpers so they wouldn't. I'm 110 pounds with a sledgehammer for 2 hours just rattling my cage, and it moved like a 1/4 inch. And then, I don't know, some guy pulled up on a tractor with overalls, with a haunch, and he just gave a
and
one
then you
wrap.
Then Clint Boyer said, "Hey, here's a tool. Use this big guy."
Yeah, he showed up.
Yes.
I think he just flicked it or something, and the bumper curled in. I don't know, but yeah. So full bumpers, that'd be nice. Other than that, why? Like, you know what? I'm going with Mike Joy on this for the end of the race.
Oh, okay.
Mike Joy generally toes the company line.
Yes, and there has been.
He's like, I've never seen anything like this in racing.
There was some firings or releases today in some of the NASCAR media, the digital platform.
Good.
For people that were questioning.
Oh, well, imagine that. Yeah, because it's like a cult over there. You can't speak about the fearless leader.
Yeah.
But when Mike was break it down, okay, the field is clear of the car. It's now coming across. Like, there's nobody near it. Like, I've never heard him go into that much detail.
How about Ryan Blaney is 100 feet from taking the checkered flag?
If that, I would say closer to 50 feet, maybe 50 feet. Yeah. To the point where, it was like a millisecond, like 100th of a second before he crossed the line, the lights flashed on. A matter of car lengths. Yeah, Clint said the same thing. Like, you can tell Clint was doing one of these and walking. He walked a lap because he says.
So then Blaney thinks he's won the race.
Yep. So the first thing you do is put down the
window. Comes down. And it's like, oh shit, it's got to go back up again.
Yep. And they're like, in typical spotter, you just got to put that back up yourself. And he's like, I'm a spindly little race car driver. You usually have the tool secure that. We have a tool for that.
You have a tool for that.
Right. Now, I thought, being the All-Star race and, things happen in the All-Star race, that's NASCAR. They could have allowed him to go down and not given up his position.
Mm-hmm.
Because we allowed Jeff Gordon to take out a fucking backup car after the race started one year.
Yes.
So, or they could, I was waiting for them to just screw him over and say, nope. But then they thought, I don't know if we want that Hamlin guy winning right now, because Hamlin's not exactly in NASCAR's good books either.
No.
He had quite the interview on the weekend, apparently. It came out.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet, but I was about to read it just before you.
Yep.
Sports Business Journal. Check it out. Long form interview. It's hard to teach a dinosaur how to eat new food, was one of the lines. So, yeah, I'm curious to read that.
Yep.
So instead, Blaney wedged the back of the window net, I'm pretty sure, into the seat foam, because it was not in the eyelet, which I get, because you used to be able to maybe, loosen your belts, Doug, and you could reach up and take care of it.
Yep.
Which, kudos, like, my God, we were seeing them in car, and I was like, I couldn't be knee steering, maintaining speed. And you could tell when he was backing off, Hamlin was just like, I'm not going to win it that way. It was that sort of that short track mentality. I don't want to beat you in the pits. I want to beat you on the track, so I'll help you fix your car. You could tell the rest of the field was just like, this is some bull, Now, it would have been funnier if half the field had dropped their window nuts by that, That would have been funny, because then they're like, oh, great, half the field has to. But they did, in fact, allow Ryan to more or less, I think he did use that strap to kind of half wedge it up, but as soon as they dropped the green, his window net was halfway down at an angle. It was leaning on the seat or on the left head support, basically. So, I don't know. Thankfully, they let him get it. And
even Moody, I think, said yesterday, like, what happens if something would have happened and that window net wasn't holding anything?
Nope. It was there for show. Oh, yeah. On the other hand, I don't know I don't know if a window net is important as it was last year, let alone 20 years ago, because those seats, with that piece right there, that does a lot. It used to be you could be half hanging out the car. You
could have the one that's behind you.
You could have,
that one right there.
That does nothing. It's there for show.
Same as it is now.
But I remember we used to keep. Well, part of it, you keep the window net. The reason they really started getting really tight was for aero. They noticed by having them really tight, because when they were buffeting at Talladega, they would notice causing drag. Same way you see the guys put the hand up, like Blaney. Yep. He qualifies Talladega one-handed.
Yep. So
I am not doing that.
So he's got $1 million. He can maybe get someone new to sit in the car for him and put that window net back up when he needs that. You can get that with $1 million.
Yeah. So when are they going to finally increase the purse? Because it's been $1 million to win for the better part of 20 years.
Yeah.
That $1 million doesn't really mean as much as it used to, because probably you would think a lot of purses should be paying $1 million to win now. The way inflation is and stuff, but they're not, because they hide that info.
Anyway, so you got any news?
Yep. Trackhouse Racing announced today. It's called Project 91. There was a brand new Twitter handle. Follow it. And what it is they're looking to bring the world of motorsports to NASCAR, which is essentially, it's a part-time team. And hey, if you got the time and you got the money, we got the ride for you. And so the first rumored person will be Daniel Ricciardo from Formula One, current Formula One driver.
He's a big Earnhardt fan anyway.
He's a huge Earnhardt fan, yes. And that's why he runs the number 3 in Formula One.
Yes.
Someone else rumored was, some IndyCar driver, maybe Jimmy Johnson, because the ties with Ganassi. We might see Jimmy return for a one-off. But the idea is to have a place available. And you know what? Maybe all these veterans that, I'm going to go to part-time. No, you're not. Nobody goes to part-time anymore. Nobody does that.
Speaking of all these veterans, I'm going to go back to the All-Star race for a second.
Yeah.
If the idiot that called into Moody the one call yesterday is watching this, you're an idiot. He said to make sure that the field is full to have more cars. Let's open it up to anybody who's won a race in NASCAR that can go and come in or any past champion who's alive, who still wants to run.
Right. And who would they be?
Waltrip? Richard Petty? This guy even said Waltrip or Richard Petty.
Yeah,
And like, haven't we not already done that before at Bristol and almost killed 2 guys?
exactly. And we got the SRX series for that. Anyways,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'd like to see Hinch try it. I don't know if Hinch
Yeah.
would, but I'd like to see Hinch try it. I tell you though, any of those indie guys, they're going to be picking Jimmy Johnson's brain something fierce in the paddock.
Oh, for sure.
The week or two before.
For sure.
So, yeah. Other than that, other news. There was one fine for a loose lug nut in the Xfinity race. I think it was Allmendinger's team actually. And then there's one in the truck series. And apparently the fines are half as much in trucks as they are in Xfinity. I noticed $5,000 and $2,500. Oh, Hinch tweeted that. I missed that. Okay, well that makes sense.
My
especially
news.
road courses. That's what they're talking. Like Daniel Ricciardo might run like Road America to start.
Xfinity news.
Sure.
Ty Gibbs.
Yes. What about him?
He'll be in the car for, and we talked about this here before. You said no, I said yes. He is going to be in the car for 2 years. This year, and he will be back next year in the 54.
I said he was going to be there until there was an opening in the Cup level.
Well, their plan for him is to spend 2 years, 2 full seasons in the Xfinity series,
and then take over for whomever.
And then they said that,
mm-hmm.
And then as the interview you already spoke about, in that wherever journal thingy, Denny Hamlin said, once I become non-relevant, that I do not like win a race or I can't be in the top, I'm then going to focus all of my efforts on 23-11 racing.
Which some people on the 11 team are already unhappy with the amount of involvement he has. Like when he's out there on track saying, hey, how's this car doing? They're like, shut up and drive your car.
Yes. So you can see that's so. And you know what?
Yes.
The family name with the 11 is already there.
Yeah.
Right? Because JD brought Denny in. It was the 11 that they wanted. Right?
And who was the big driver that was supposed to drive the 11?
I forget now.
Initially. Jason Leffler.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's right. Yes.
And then J.J. Yaley. And then Denny Hamlin.
Seeing Keith comment there. Kyle Busch looks like they're very close to the full sponsorship for next year.
Yeah.
Looking very good that Kyle will be back.
Kyle likes the way he's doing right now with just the trucks. That's why he's not as much interested in it. He did the Xfinity bit for a while, and that's when the 54 then full. That's why there's a 54 driving for Gibbs, because that was Kyle's team when you put together for Kurt initially. I know the 2311 currently has no plans to expand. So,
but Denny has been photographed wearing a 2311 race suit.
Yes.
He put it on Twitter, then took it down.
Yes. Well, I think, because part of that was for marketing. It's the same way Dale Jr. gets sponsors, right?
Yep.
Or Dale Sr. got sponsors. Same deal. I think when Denny decides, I'm going to go part-time, then he'll do a part-time deal with his own team, and then, Ty might move up at that time, or
because remember the 19
Ty's going to be in the 19 before anyone else. I think
Martin's contract is up at the end of next year.
Yeah,
I want to say so.
Well, and Martin is just that much older too.
Yes,
right. He's most likely. That's the thing. Like Martin's most likely to retire first, but then again, you got 2 of your 4 drivers that have their own race teams essentially, so they could really leave at any time. Especially with the car now. Like if Kyle Busch wanted to leave after last year, it wouldn't be that hard for KBM to ramp up a Cup program.
Yep.
Especially a new Toyota program, because you're going to have the factory involvement. You're going to have hands-on. It's not like he's all of a sudden starting a field filler team.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Other than Amarola, do you think anyone's going to retire at the end of the year?
I can't see it at the moment.
I'm curious about Harvick.
That's the one. That's the only one I could see.
Yeah, and he seems like the type. He's not going to do a farewell tour. He's just I'm done. and announce it like towards the end of the year.
Halfway through Phoenix.
Yeah, except we can't make announcements during the chase or the playoffs because we don't want to take away from that.
Oh.
Fuck off. We can talk about more than one thing a week.
Yeah. But.
So, I don't know. Do we have anything else?
Upcoming.
600 weekend.
I think that's what I felt a little more loose on this show.
Yeah.
Probably because we'll be somewhere near Beckley, West Virginia right now, usually. Looking for a bathroom.
Actually, no, we'd be just, let's see, it's 9 at night. You would have said you were going to pick me up at 3, showed up at 4:30. We're in Pennsylvania still. We're just entering Pennsylvania.
Or, like the one year, we could be still in the Canadian Tire parking lot down the street from your house.
Well, you know, because somebody, hey, Doug, do you have lights for your trailer? Nope.
I did.
I did.
Before I went and got the oil changed.
Yeah. So.
And the person that works at the place that sounds like Iffy Lube checked the battery and knocked the wire off. Yeah.
Fortunately, though, it doesn't take many tools for me to wire up a trailer harness in the rain.
Just sometimes the signals work and sometimes they don't. That's what you got an arm for.
Summer signals.
Going left. Going left.
Yeah, summer signals. Summer signals and
summer. Yep.
Summer.
Yep.
So yeah. So, who's pick for the 600?
Since I am flying down again.
Yeah.
As always, I am going to take the 19.
I'm thinking the 5 might do something about it.
Yeah, I don't think the 5.
He's the odds-on favorite.
He's the odds-on favorite every week. Come on, give it up. Who cares?
Yeah. I don't know.
And plus now that Mr. Knauss is part of the whole team.
Mm-hmm.
When I go on my walk Sunday morning,
you can write up a whole organization at once.
It's not just the 48; it's everybody.
Yeah.
Blow it up.
You know what? Blaney might do it again this coming week too.
Yeah, he could. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, he had a good work. Well, he doesn't have the car anymore, but if they could build another car like Kyle Busch had under him, he really had the car to beat.
I just hope it's someone good for when I'm in victory lane.
That'd be nice.
And that's what I forgot to bring down. The Coke.
The 34 in victory lane just for Doug.
I'm burning that place down if that happens.
That's plan C. There's if Junior wins, if Junior doesn't win, and if Michael McDowell wins.
And speaking of that today is the anniversary.
Yes, it is.
I shared that on Facebook today.
Yeah.
I shared a lot. A lot of stuff has happened today on this day when we're.
Yeah, it's weird that NASCAR shared it 9 years later because that post was from 2020. I'm like, it happened in 2011.
The day the suicide rate in Charlotte just went.
Yep, we watched Dale Jr. run out of gas in 3 and 4 of the last lap of the 600.
Oh, and that we had the Randy Jackson wannabe from American Idol in front of us. He's in it to win it. Dale's in it to win it. He's in it to win it, and then he's
actually. Let's be honest. 2 laps earlier, all the women in the crowd were pissed off because Casey Kane ran out of gas.
Yes,
and then. Like say on the last lap, Junior ran out of gas. And a few laps before that, Denny Hamlin ran out of gas because they had to swap the carburetor.
Yep.
It's the only one I knew why he ran out of gas.
Yep.
Long jets.
Well, what else happened on this day in Charlotte? We got to see Trace Atkins on this day.
Yep.
Trying to see what else. Grayson got his rookie stripe.
Yeah, I just remember Keith. There was a girl sitting next to me that first year. She was a Casey Kane fan, and she was just inconsolable. I'm like, I looked at her boyfriend. I'm like, you ain't getting laid tonight, bud. Because
And wasn't he a junior fan?
yeah,
Yeah,
they could have. Yeah, that would have been a long, quiet car ride home.
What
Yeah, Harvick won it that night, didn't he?
else? Yes, he did.
That's right.
And the black Budweiser 29.
Yep.
Um,
Thoughts on a drunk Blake Shelton? I prefer
Was
him
there a-
over a sober Blake Shelton.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
I
Well,
remember trackside when he did the stage dive.
do you know what else?
Oh, no, it was Elliott Sadler who did the stage dive.
Do you know what else? Let me check my memories here. It's not coming up now.
Yeah, you saw ZZ Top. Yeah.
How many years ago was that there?
That was 2015. Or at least that's when you posted it.
Yeah, I can't see it there now again. Oh yeah, there's there. Yep, 7 years ago.
So I just said 2015.
And then what is it? The other one is 6 years ago was when we were in the Bass Pro Shop at Concord Mills
Yeah, what about it?
at an autograph signing. I said, "You are going to be on the pole. You are going to win every stage, and you're going to win the race."
I was off buying shoes.
Yes, you were.
That's right. Because I walked into the Bass Pro Shop and I said, Doug, this is not my scene at all.
No.
But there is a van store, and that is my scene.
Yes.
I'll be back.
So I talked to him, had to school some younger people in behind me that were talking about how the 56 car that they had was his rookie car. No.
Not even close. Not even close.
Yeah, told him he was going to do it out there, and he said, "You know what? I am," and he did.
Yep, he dominated that race.
And as I put in my Facebook memory, Grand Hob, to quote Grand Hobday, he stunk it up.
I was going to say, that was, and wasn't that the first year they had the stages?
Yes, he won every stage.
I was like, what? They're all even. All 150 lap or 100 laps. It's like, fuck. Like, at least do like 375s and a 1 1/4, or like whatever. Like, mix it up a little.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there was only 3 laps that he didn't lead that day.
Yeah, under green flag pit stops.
Yep.
Yep, and you walked about 50 miles.
I did.
And then got very drunk.
I'm glad there's no photographs.
There is.
I haven't seen it.
Ask your wife.
No, there's none.
Oh, she didn't take any.
I have the camera. No, she didn't take any.
Oh, right. You had the camera.
I think, yeah, I had the camera down in Victory Lane, yes.
That's right. That's why there's
and then that 78 flag became I think it was a cape at one point.
You were wearing it as a cape, yes. And then started drinking moonshine.
Yeah.
Which led into our multi-endeavors of drinking moonshine in 2017.
Which led to a really shitty drive home the next morning.
Yeah.
But then on this day in 2019, Truex won again.
Oh, there.
And the plane ride home was a lot better than the drive.
I bet it was. Hey, Guitar Man.
So this weekend, I'm hoping I'm going to make it through the weekend. I'll probably do some recording for the show here.
Cool.
Some recorded stuff, but it's going to be a tough weekend. Like we've already talked. It kind of hit me last week that and we did the whole show, but the show, the funeral, the memorial afterward, the next day afterwards at the house was one thing, right? You kind of get that, and I was okay. But being there is going to be something different.
The only saving grace was the fact Mike was so busy we didn't see him much by race weekend. It was more we would see him during the week.
Yep.
But by Friday, he was gone, because if he wasn't being driven around on the cart, he was off on doing his own thing with the cart, or if he was driving around in his truck. That's why I'm really glad the last year that I got down there, and Marcus has the photo of Mike and me sitting on the golf cart, is I said, "Can you take 15 minutes and just watch a race with me, please?" And he said, that smile. Why? I said, because I would like to watch a Coke 600 with Mike Kleben, who never gets to watch the race.
Yep.
Well, y'all better grab me a beer then. All right.
And and like I said, that Facebook post I seen the other week was, we were sitting in the man cave, and there's no better place to be.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish you were gonna be down here with me for the one last ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of that.
Bring that up, actually. Hang on. Where's that photo? Charlotte Dirt Track. It's probably under Mike. That's what I'm thinking. M's. What we got here? Nope. The hell do we have it under? I know we got the photo somewhere because we've used it for thumbnails and such.
Yep.
The Charlotte Dirt Track. That doesn't help us. Dirt track. A lot of us have dirt tracks.
Yeah, we're at the dirt track a lot this day.
Yeah, every year, right? No.
You're looking for one of the ones of us?
You're
looking for one of the ones of us?
That's what I'm looking.
For, like, of you and I?
Well, there's the photo of us with Mike, and it's a good shot of the man cave.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah, where it is. This is the riveting part of the show.
Yep.
The absolute riveting part of the show.
Huh.
I got it somewhere.
It's saved somewhere else on my computer. Oh well. Anything going on at the dirt track as we speak? Yeah, you'll probably have racing Friday night at the dirt track at Charlotte.
Well, no, there's a truck race Friday night.
Oh, is there?
Yes.
Oh, well then I don't know if there is.
Are you wanting just a picture of Mike or just us?
No, it's the one of the three of us, sitting around the table shooting shit.
Yeah, it's yeah, I've lost it here. But spoiler for anyone, hopefully they're probably not watching anyway. I will be at some point here printing off a picture, and I'm going to however I can to
it was labeled BD Man Cave, that's why.
Okay.
Share screen.
Be birthday man cave.
This is the man cave. That's just one wall.
Okay, yeah, there we go, yeah. So right between Ben and I is an autographed picture of Petty.
Right there.
And just behind Ben's back, you can't see it.
On the post. You talking the Davey Allison team photo?
Yeah, just a second here.
Actually, just behind you is some Davey stuff too. I see it.
Yeah. That's actually it. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, right there.
Let me see if I can pick it up here. Yeah, so I don't know if you can get me.
Got the pints. I got the shine. Apparently,
I don't know if you can get me full screen here, Ben.
What's that? Hang on. Let me stop sharing. There, I'll solo you out.
So there. That's what that thing is. Jeez,
I just about freaked out when I saw that.
So there's Davey Allison team autographed photo. That is what's on that wall.
All right, we got anything else?
Nope.
All right, because my bladder's thinking we've gone into overtime apparently.
And you know what? Wait, I'm gonna say. I don't know if you want to put me full screen, but we'll say we'll wait. We'll say the whatevers, and then go and then go full screen to.
I gotta find my hero cards, Keith. I've got, like the postcards before they did the big 8x10s. They did smaller postcard size. I saw them a couple of months ago. If I can find them again, I've got them dated back to the 60s that Mike gave me. He goes, "Oh, you can take all my doubles." I've got Mario Andretti with his Homa Moody Ford Talladega. I've got Fred Lorenzen, Fireball Roberts.
I'm gonna say
Nice.
for
What are you having this weekend? I like it.
So yeah, so we'll. I think the only fitting for putting this show to bed be with this here video, but I will be. We'll be talking this weekend.
Yep.
For a bunch of times.
Yep.
So.
All right, folks. This has been NasCanucks. He's Doug. I'm Ben. Coke 600 this weekend. One of the best races of the year.
And see you very soon, Marcus.
Mike Smith.